sometimes you're going to be given piecewise functions. They look like this. And they're going to ask you to solve for some derivatives. Do not fret, it's easy, okay? You just take the derivative of each piece. So you have the first piece here and the second piece. So you're going to have two separate derivatives. The derivative of 3x squared is 6x. The derivative of 2x is 2. And you just copy the domain. Do the next one. Derivative of e to the 2x is e to the 2x times 2. Derivative of 2 is 0. Copy the domain. And you have to remember the first part means values such as 0, -1, -2, -3 because it says x is less than or equal to 0. The second piece says x is greater than 0, so that's 1, 2, 3, etc. Okay, so if I'm being asked for f prime of -2, I have to choose the function that contains -2 in its domain. It's right here. So I'm going to use 6x plus 2, which is 6 times -2 plus 2, -12 plus 2, -10. I need to solve for f prime of 3. So I have to see where 3 lies. 3 is right here. So I'm going to use 2e to the 2 times 3, 2e to the 6, and that's it. Next one, same thing. There's a derivative. You have a piecewise, so start out with getting it. 1 minus 2 sine x is -2 cosine of x for x less than or equal to 0. Next one is e to the -4x times -4 for x greater than 0. Okay, and then it's saying, this is a little bit different. What value of x does the derivative equal 3? So it means we have to figure out, okay, which function here will give us 3 as a derivative? Okay, well, let's try -2 cosine x equals 3 for the first part. Or is it 2 -4e to -4x equals 3? Which one here contains 3? All right. If I divide -2, I have cosine of x is 3 over -2. It might be easier to see as -1.5. This is a problem. The largest y value of cosine is 1. Because, remember the unit circle? Remember how the dots are x comma y, which is cosine comma sine? Okay? And the largest cosine is going to be 1 comma 0, or this one is 0 comma -1, so 0 is the smallest. This one's -1 comma 0, so -1. This one's 0 comma 1. So the largest value cosine can be is 1. -1.5 is bigger in value than 1, so this cannot be the answer. Let's try the next one. -4 e to -4x equals -3 over 4. How do we solve this? Natural logs. Bring this down, cancels natural log of e. I have -4x equals natural log of -3 over 4. Divide by -4. And I have x should be the natural log of -3 over 4 for -4. So in this x value, you're going to have the y value be 3. So I'm going to put a star here because we've never done this in class, but don't fret because they're simple formulas that you need to memorize, okay? The derivative of the inverse of sine is 1 over square root of 1 minus x squared. We need to memorize this, so put it somewhere where you can start memorizing it. The derivative of inverse cosine is the same as sine, but it has a negative in front of it. The derivative of tangent inverse is 1 over 1 plus x squared, no radicals. So If you look at number 18, it says f of x is sine inverse of x, and they want to see what f prime of square root of 3 over 2 is. Well, that's easy, okay? We just need to get f prime first, which is right here. Then we need to plug in square root of 3 over 2. Okay, solve. So square root of 3 squared will be 3. 2 squared will be 4. 1 minus 3/4 is 1/4. Square root of 1/4 is 1/2. And we can change that to 1 times 2 over 1, which is 2. Make sure you pause here and go back. Go through the steps so we're on the same page. Same thing for number 3. It says, what's the derivative of tan inverse of x plus 2 square root of x? Well, you know tan inverse of x. Look at the formula. It's going to be 1 over 1 plus x squared. Okay, right there you can already cancel some options. You're left with 2. Now we have to get the derivative of 2x to the 1/2. Circle the 1/2, bring it down. 2 times 1/2 x to the negative 1/2 will be x to the negative 1/2, and that matches 1 over x to the 1/2, or 1 over square root of x, which gives us e. Go ahead and work on the closing question. Pause the video, and when you're ready, you can play it so you can see how I solve it. Okay, the g is the inverse of f. So when f of 0 equals 1, well, f is the original function, so we don't need to flip anything. That's original. 0, 1. Nothing, no need to flip. But I need g prime of 1. So that's going to be f inverse prime of 1, which is 1 over f prime f inverse of 1. This means when y is 1, what is x? Well, look at the point, and we have 0, so that's going to be 1 over f prime of 0. And we need to get f prime, so let's get f prime of x. We have to remember that f of x is 2x plus 1 to the third. Use the chain rule. It'll be 3. 2x plus 1 squared times 2. 6. 2x plus 1 squared. Then all you need to do is plug in 0. Six times 1 squared, 6. So you just put in the equation, 1 over 6. Great, so you have a Khan Academy resource. You need to start watching videos there to help you out. You have some Barron's book problems that you can work on, and some mock AP problems to work on as well. All right.